You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, welcome to our fourth episode of Three Dudes Brews. Three Dudes Brews this month is brought to you by the good people here at Six Pack Brewing, and as always by A Van Down by the River Podcasts at avandownbytheriverpodcast.com. I'm your host, Buddy Thayer, and I would like to welcome you to join us on this epic journey, this epic liquid journey, through an appreciation of craft deliciousness, through our own perspectives of what we like and what we don't like, and a celebration of the great people that bring this to us. I am thrilled to bring in two of my other dudes. My first dude, he's a yeoman of the yeast. He has a great understanding of flavor and taste. One would call him a doctor of deliciousness. He's the Pele of the porter. He's the Ronaldo of the Rauch beer. He puts the Ed in bread. Welcome to the show, Ed.
Thank you guys. And as always, like I said, we are here today. We're bringing you this wonderful place, and I want to bring in our last of the Three Dudes Brews crew, Costa Sangarulli, the Greekiest man we know.
How's everybody doing? Thank you for joining us here at Six Pack Brewing at 87 Gooding in Bristol, Rhode Island. On a side note, we have finally come to answer the question of who let the dogs out, and it is Mark Tappy here at Six Pack Brewing. So thank you for having us.
Yeah, welcome.
We appreciate you taking your time and spending time with us and sharing your wonderful drinks with us and answering all of our questions, and looking forward to. So
Awesome.
Please tell us, how did you get started here?
So my journey started probably back in the early 2000s as a home brewer, as I'm sure you guys probably did. Always wanted to work in a brewery.
What did you do before this?
I was in the auto body business pretty much all my life. Retired from there like 3 years ago after opening this up because this was way more than a full-time job. I was actually doing both at the same time, which got to be too crazy. But anyways, getting back to brewing, I got a job as a brewer at another local brewery that opened up, and decided I'm gonna open my own place. That was mistake number one.
Oh man.
Then COVID hit.
Yeah, and it's
that was a whole nother issue dealing with all that. But
Now you guys opened up right around when COVID started.
we opened. So we started to build out January 1st of 2020. COVID hit in March, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were supposed to open July for the 4th of July because this is a big 4th of July town, and that didn't happen. There's all kinds of delays with licensing and equipment and you name it. We opened November 21st, right before Thanksgiving of that year, and it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Like the whole world just kind of came to a screeching halt.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't know what was going on. December 1st hit, and the state went into the pause where they cut the capacity down to 25% from the 50% that they had, and we could have 12 people in here, including us, at one time.
And then not to mention the logistics of getting things shipped.
Yeah. You know what?
Ordered.
It wasn't too bad for like materials for brewing.
Okay.
Equipment was a whole other story, but it wasn't horrible.
At least that was good.
That's gonna be like a real baptism by fire coming coming in during COVID like that, only allowing a certain number of people here in the brewery, it would it would make me think that you would like start like really slow or not even succeed at all. But you've exploded. You're one of the bigger brewers here in Bristol. Can you tell me about what you did to persevere through COVID and what brought you here today?
Okay, that's a tough one. We just focused on making quality beers and having different things, music, food trucks, all that stuff to get people in, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
It worked. Luckily, the vaccine came out not too long after it started, so we were lucky when that happened. Because once people got word of that, they really started coming out in droves, and it was great. That first year, we had ridiculous numbers. And
So, what was your first big beer?
our first big beer was probably Timmy. Timmy's been our pretty much our flagship beer since day one. We now distribute it across Rhode Island. That's another new thing in the works, but yeah, definitely Timmy. Double IPA. Everybody loves them.
Yep.
Most people love them. I love it.
Is it a Citra? Is it a Citra IPA?
It is not.
Oh,
It is
there you go, Cost.
Yeah.
Cost is Citra.
So yeah, we found out through this journey here that Costas is definitely not a Citra hop guy.
Yeah.
So anytime we hear that, he's, as you could tell, absolutely elated.
What don't you like about Citra hops?
It tastes, if it's okay if used sparingly. I find that a lot of places, with the whole IPA trend, which seems to be fading away, and now it's more towards sours, seltzers, things of that nature. People were just throwing it in, and they're just dumping in
Obscene amounts.
obscene amounts, etc. These hop bombs, and and I get that some people love them.
Mhm.
I don't, but
Love
it's like drinking pine sol. It's like licking a pine tree. I
I
just
thought you were going to go down the Cat P route.
but no, it's just
to
it's,
get that funk,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
again. I'll Mosaic, Galaxy. There's so many other hops out there.
I will tell you that one of the beers that I poured for you today does have Citra in it.
which is fine.
Oh,
Which is fine.
I see.
But I would like balance, and that's my thing is that balance of a really quality beer versus somebody just throwing stuff in a fermenter and just
Sure.
like trying to punch you in the face with it.
Yep.
And I think, I don't know so much about, the brewers here in Rhode Island at the time, but I know a lot of the big guys, they were all doing that. It was like trying to see who could out-hop the other. Okay, well, yeah, we put 50 pounds of dry hops in at the end is because, this guy did 20. So it got a little carried away, I think. I mean, it was one of those things where every beer you see was an IPA.
Yeah,
It really exploded.
Yeah, it did. It did. And then you have the whole New England IPA style that all of a sudden took off, and everybody wanted to make a bigger, juicier New England IPA.
yeah. It was, to me, it was more of a hipster thing, and
Sure.
it was trendy.
We're gonna blame the hipsters.
I'm okay with
And
that.
I'm not a hipster, and I'm not trendy at all. I just
Oh, you like
love.
your
I just love the I love the juiciness,
which is
and I love the variousness and the juiciness. I can have beers anywhere from like Connecticut all the way up to Maine, and they're all the same style, and they might all use the same recipe, but they're all or very similar recipes, but they're all have their little unique differences that make them absolutely delicious beers.
So, Mark, now out of the styles that you do here, which style is your favorite? What would you drink above everything
To
else?
brew or to drink?
To drink.
To drink, I would probably say our Czech Pilsner white. I'm a big Pilsner guy. As much as I like all beer styles, the Pilsner does it for me. It's my go-to when I go to other breweries. You can tell a lot about a brewery just by their Pilsner.
So you're more of a classic fan.
I like classics, yeah,
Why do you say that? Why do you say you can tell a lot by?
because it's hard to make a good Pilsner. It's hard to make a very clean, crisp Pilsner.
About the water? What is it?
It's about a lot of stuff. Water, process, just everything that goes into it. Love. Yeah.
No, it's true.
It is true. I mean, if you don't care about what you're doing, it's going to show in the end product. And we going back, and I don't want to beat a dead horse with COVID. Okay, we're not going to do that. But I think you saw the ones that weren't going to make it because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't. They may have hung around for a little bit, but I think that was really the litmus test on whether or not they were going to survive anyway. I think, the ones that like you who managed to survive through it, it's because of the quality, the love, the care, the end product. And that's why I think certain ones managed to survive through it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, sure, a lot of it had to do, is it funding, logistics, how much you got, in the war chest to survive. But I think a lot of folks that didn't make it through were going to survive that long.
Sure.
So you got to put the love in. So, speaking of love,
yeah, let's. I've been looking at these things for the last 10 minutes.
They call on your name.
I think they're calling us. I think we're going to start with the first one as we keep talking here, and getting to know a little bit more about Mark here in this wonderful place. So, Six Pack. How'd the name come about?
So Six Pack is named after my 6 original dogs. Pack of 6.
Pack of 6.
We still have 3 of the original 6, and there are 6 beers with those 6 dog names that we keep on all the time.
Nice.
Yes, let's be honest. That's all I'm doing.
So all of your beers are named after your dog.
6 of them. Yeah.
6.
Yeah. 6 are. Then we have one other one that's actually not on tap right now. It was an add-on. No, I'm not changing the name of the brewery to 7 Pack. But yeah, we do 4 rotating taps with different names for each beer. We keep them dog themed though, for the most part.
Now you said the Czech Pilsner is your favorite to drink. What is your favorite to make?
I would say either one of the 2 or 3 IPAs that we have. I like brewing IPAs. Something about the process during brewing, adding the hops, massive amounts of hops at the end of the boil. Just my favorite thing to do.
It's my favorite thing to drink.
Pilsners are kind of boring to make, like on brew day. Pretty much 1 or 2 grains, a little bit of hops, nothing crazy.
So just not as involved.
Definitely not as involved.
Yeah, so
getting the water profile right for like a double IPA can be tricky. We use reverse osmosis water here, which strips everything out of the water, and then we build it back with different salts.
Okay.
To get that profile that we're looking for.
Oh, wow.
Now, is that commonplace among other breweries that you're aware of, or is that something
it can be on the smaller breweries. It gets a little difficult with the larger ones because it would be pretty added expense to have an RO system that big. But there's other ways of going about it, carbon filtration, all that stuff.
Why do you do it? Do you feel that it gives you better?
I think it brings the beer up to another level. Starting small, and we're a small brewery. We're only a 2.5 barrel system, so having that amount of water on hand is fairly easy for us. Where one of the larger breweries in town, they wouldn't be able to do it.
No.
It would take them probably a week to make enough water to brew with.
Right. So, is there a style you tend to stay away from?
No.
Good.
No.
No. Everything's fair game.
Everything's fair game.
All right.
I do see a barley wine over there.
We do barrel aged stuff. The barley wine. We have a wild ale, wild fermentation that's barrel aged.
That's like it's sour, right? Wild.
They can be a little tart. It's mixed fermentation, so not only yeast but other bacterias and things like that in it too.
Not a barley wine fan.
Yeah, I know.
We were talking about this before the start of the show.
My barley wines.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'll always try it because you never know. You might find the one that you actually.
Well, we might have to crack one open today because
it's one of those things. I don't know if it's got to be the strain of yeast. It's got to be something. There's always that certain funk about a barley wine.
Have you had barrel aged ones?
No.
So ours is a 14% barrel aged. We used a Woodford Reserve bourbon barrel
Okay.
that had Thomas 2 rum in it. That we acquired from Newport Craft.
Awesome.
And we had that beer in that barrel for 13 months. Yeah. So it's got a ton of barrel character, bourbon character, followed by the rum. It's awesome. It's so good.
Wow. And I think you need to
Yeah.
follow the game.
I think I have a bottle in the fridge. We'll crack it open when we're done.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Twist my arm.
Yeah, believe me. As soon as you said 14, his eyes perked up. So.
Went up.
Buddy's the high octane of the group. You know, he'll seek them out and find them.
I like them. I usually look right to left on the beer menu.
You know, and that's one of those things that goes back to where, you know, I truly believe there is a style for everybody, and everybody finds the one that they like the most. They always gravitate toward that, you know, but not every beer is for every person, you know. So with that in mind, is there been a beer either on the menu now or that you've done in the past that has been truly solely just for you? You're making it for yourself and you don't care if anybody else drinks it?
I have done those beers in the past, and they're not always great sellers. We did a Gruit a couple of years ago. I don't know if you're familiar with Gruits. They don't use any hops. We did Mugwort, Chaga, and I don't even remember the other herb. Loved it. Great beer. If you ever been up to Earth Eagle in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, they were big. They used to do all Gruits at one time. Not a huge common style, but really great beers. So we made one. Then I think it was on tap for 6 or 7 months.
Oh no!
People were afraid of it. Yeah, people were afraid of it. But we finally went through it all, and then people started asking, "You ever going to make another one of those mushroom beers?"
Well,
It's like, nah, I don't think so.
Not taking up tap space for that long. I mean, that's one of those things. And that's the first time I've heard of that one. So I'm learning something new today.
number 2.
You know, yeah, let's move. Our buddy already went on to number 2. So.
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to just. Because last time you guys drank them all, I was sitting there waiting.
Well, that's
So,
right.
I'm not going to be that guy.
You're not going to be that guy this week?
Right.
All right. Well, we'll move it on, and we're going to keep the conversation flowing. And, you know, the goal today is to get that top cock away from Cassis.
Yeah, for sure. He won that.
We got to get
It was
that away.
it was tricky last time on
Want my cock? Come and claim it, sir.
Well, that'll be the first time I've heard that today.
So,
Notice I only said today.
yes. So you have not one, but 2 different, what I would call rewards programs, right? You have the Insiders Club.
We do.
So can you tell us about that?
So we have the Kennel Club, which is our mug club. Basically, it's a yearly membership. People get their own mug. They get a discounted pour and other benefits on merch and cases and stuff like that. And then we have what's called our Insider program, where you build points every beer that you purchase. Once you hit a certain point, you get a free beer.
nice.
It's free beer is always delicious.
And that's available for everybody that comes in, not just like Mug Club members.
So the Mug Club is like a pay.
It is.
You have to pay for that,
Yeah.
and then the Insider Club is just,
We keep that limited to we're currently at 40 right now. And, we started with 20 the first year and built up to 40. Probably won't go any higher than that. So it's quite a long waiting list to get on.
So there's an actual like list.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Join the list. If there's
a list.
Yeah.
So I think we have 3 names getting added to that list.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
we got a guy.
We got a guy.
Money talk.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fantastic, though. You know, there aren't a lot of places that do that. You know, I can't think of any off the top of my head that does anything like that.
No.
Well, I know that.
You know, Steins are great. I mean, it's always great to have a mug waiting for you when you come in and you know it's yours, and you know it's a nice thing.
I know Lops has one up in Woonsocket, Bravo Brewing up in Barville, and I believe I haven't been yet, but Point in East Providence, I believe, started
Oh, yeah,
a
right.
club too.
Right, we've been there too.
I don't know about like a mug club, but I know that Smug in particular, which we frequent quite a bit. has that rewards program where if, you're spending money, you earn points for merch or, flights, things
Yeah,
like that.
discounts and stuff like that.
Discounts on stuff.
It's always good. I mean,
I think that's great. It's a
It's an
rewards program. It's
Added incentive to come to the brewery.
yeah. And that's the thing is like I'll spend money somewhere and I earn points and that will influence my decision on where I'm going to go.
Sure.
Because I could be like, I have so many choices. I got free stuff over there, so let's, I got these points to use up. Let's go there, and I'm going to get a flight while I'm there. I'm going to get another pour, and I'm going to bring some home, and that incentive is going to bring me in, and that's something I think that sets some places apart. Is you got to have something to draw the crowds.
Definitely.
now, on that same note, though, if the beer's not good, I'm not coming back. I don't care how many points you're giving me.
True.
True. So
Yeah,
let's not confuse that there. It's great to have that added thing like you said, but if the beers aren't there, I'm not coming back regardless. And there's been a couple. I'm not going to say who.
We don't have to name names.
No, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. But there's one in particular where I've been there and I'm like, this isn't good.
Priority should always be about the beer.
Exactly.
First,
It's like
first and foremost.
I don't care that you've got a great spot. I don't care that you spent all this money in here. You got the big TVs. You got whatever. That's great. If I want to hang out and bring my own stuff, because what you've got and what you're offering is garbage.
Gimmicks will only get you.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have a quality product.
Right.
Exactly.
Keep people coming
Exactly.
back.
So it's a great little perk. It's a great add-on, like you said. But you've got to have good beer.
There's I believe there's about 40 different breweries and distilleries in the state of Rhode Island.
42, I think.
For a state that's, 1 hour drive from end to end, there's 42 places in the state. And some of them are within walking distance of each other. You've got to have good product.
Got to stand out.
Yeah, you got to stand out. You got to have a good product to draw people in because there's just so many options to pick from.
Definitely.
It's going to draw you in if you're good. If not,
Yeah. So what's the one beer everybody seems to come and grab from you?
So we have a couple. Timmy, obviously, has been our best seller since the beginning. But Penny, which is our peanut butter milk stout,
That's good.
that we serve on Nitro, has gained the following. The beer fests and stuff that we've done. We got a ton of people asking for Penny, and if it's not in cans,
Start getting some angry folks.
we catch some words.
And I bet there are a few choice ones in there every now and then. So, especially if somebody's making the drive, right? I mean, not everybody lives around the corner. We drove a little bit, but it's Rhode Island. So, folks, I swear, please drive more than 15 minutes away from your house. Okay, drive, get out, see the sights, enjoy a nice ride, get to your local breweries, drink local. I mean,
Don't fall into all these awful drama stories about the George Washington Bridge. We all drove over the George Washington Bridge today. It took me 25 minutes to get here. Bristol's a lovely community, and Mark has awesome beers. So just take the time and come out here. It's fantastic.
definitely.
it's the dog days of summer. Come grab a beer and Six Pack.
Oh, he did it.
Bring your dog. Come to the park. Go to the park. Run around the park with your dog. Go to Cold State Park. Do a little bit of Cold State Park. And come here and have some good beers. It's well worth your time.
Mark let the dogs out, but he's also going to let the dogs in.
Yeah. Again, that was
Very good thing of that.
that was really close together.
Speaking of who let the dogs out, we actually did a beer. It was one of our homebrew. We do a homebrew club here once a month.
Nice.
One of the guys won the competition and got to brew on our system. It was a tropical stout, and let him come up with the name and everything. And the name of the beer was "Who Let the Dogs Stout."
Yes. Okay, so
Tropical stout.
we love dad jokes and we love the puns. So that is absolutely fantastic.
What color was it?
It was stout colored. Yeah.
Tropical, huh?
That's what because I think it's stout, and it's always about coffee or chocolate,
Right? Yeah.
or something dark or white. They called us the white stout, right?
Yeah.
but yeah, that's different.
Tropical stuff.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like berries and
No, we did everything through dry hopping, which you don't really see in stouts.
Right.
But if you pick the right hops, you can get a lot of those like tropical flavors that we were looking for just through dry hopping and late kettle additions.
Wow, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How long have you guys been doing that?
We started the homebrew club probably about 3 years ago.
Boss.
Yeah.
Nice. So, the Rhode Island Brew Fest coming up in August. You guys gonna be there?
Yes,
All right.
we will be there.
So,
So we're gonna have a little surprise for everybody too.
I
We
love
like-
surprise.
we like to
a good
do-
surprise.
A little gimmicky, but we like to do surprises at beer fest.
That's good.
That's-
People expect it.
they're expecting. Okay, so the three of us are gonna be there.
Cool.
We will definitely be there. We'll be making the rounds and seeing everybody and then chatting and talking. We may have the camera going a little bit. We'll figure that out. But yeah, we're gonna go showcase what we see, what we find, and we're looking forward to it. I know this is gonna be my first one. I haven't been in the past.
I haven't been to this.
You guys
one in
been?
particular.
Yeah, no, not this one in
Not this
particular.
I've been to many
Yeah,
beer
many
fests.
beer fests.
Oh well, I
Actually,
mean,
though.
yeah, I mean that's fine. So I know we've all had some experiences at Brew Fest because it was so many, and you want to try them all, and
It gets crazy.
It can get a little
A
crazy.
lot
So
of people, a lot of lines, man. We used to go to the ones at the brewer at the zoo, which is funny because there's like 150 brewers there, but oh my god, there's like 100,000 people there too, and
Right.
you're waiting in line forever for like this little bit of beer.
yeah, we were just
Every
talking about that.
every tent, it's like another like 20 people in line. That's gets a little bit much. I don't know.
So no to brew at the zoo.
I would do it again, but I don't know.
We've actually served the brewer in the zoo 3 years, so
Okay.
it's actually coming up again, and it's definitely one of the bigger
Yeah,
fests.
it's a lot of brewers.
It's a cool theme though, the way they have it set up.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get to check out all the animals.
Usually, I'd like the goats. I'd be sitting there. I was making a video, drinking a beer, talking to one of the goats. Riding the dog statue.
Talking to that.
Because the
goats.
go talking
I
about.
was gonna say.
At that point, yeah. By the time I got
I was
the
gonna say,
goats,
if you
I
had-
had
if you had
gone
enough
through like
beer,
the whole double IPA section, and then I made my way. The dog and the goat were at the end, and I was like feeling the dog at that point.
Who else? Oh, that's too funny.
All right,
Too
so
funny.
number 4.
Before you're on. Before
You're still on
I'm
number
still
three.
tasting number 3. I'm enjoying it.
Catch up, dude.
No,
Come on.
I'm not rushing. I'm
Oh,
enjoying. I'm
that's
savoring. It's
Oh,
just
that's
it's delicious.
Oh, that's delicious.
That should be an easy one for you.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Hurry up with it.
Okay. The peer pressure. I'm telling you.
Drink it.
Right? They're like, go.
Oh, God, that's delicious.
And I'm changing. I'm changing it. It's
Is that like? Am I tasting like a strawberry in that?
changing.
That's all right.
Maybe.
That's cheating. You're asking the teacher for.
All right, I'm just
What?
like
What?
like what I'm experiencing. I don't know.
I won't give it away until
That's fair.
after the award goes out.
Oh boy.
That's good.
So, we've all had goofs and we've all had bad days. Can you tell us maybe one of your this went really sideways kind of days?
Yeah.
So I can. So Penny, our peanut butter milk stout, wasn't always a peanut butter milk stout. Penny started out as an imperial stout that I didn't really like the flavor profile of it. It was a little too bitter for my liking. Didn't really want to dump the batch, and added some PB2 to it just to see what it would do to the beer, and put it on tap. And people were liking it. This is great, right? It was also like 9.5%.
Well.
So people were a little afraid of that.
Yeah.
We kept tweaking the recipe over the next probably 6 months to get it to where it is now. It dropped it down to 7%, and totally different beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably a bad day for us.
Yeah.
Those 9%. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it is a lot of alcohol, but it's also like like double the flavor, right? So I mean, you're getting like that extra flavor. That I do go for those higher octane beers, but not so much to like how fast can I intoxicate myself, more as to like the get
I
that
would be surprised at the people that are afraid of anything over like 7 or 8%.
this guy right there. Yeah, no,
No. Alcohol content? No, not really.
That's just
Everything in moderation. If it if that's what it needs to be, sure.
Yeah.
Like if it needed to be like a triple IPA or like an imperial, if that's what it
the style calls for it. Yeah.
the style calls for it, then I'm okay with it.
Which is why we offer 5-ounce pours.
Like,
If for a bigger beer, sure. We had a Belgian triple that was 10% on tap.
Right.
Nice. Nobody's twisting your arm to get a pint of it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think, we've all been there the younger days where, you go out, that's exactly what you're looking for. You just want to, get hammered fast and,
Right.
and then, you go to the Natty Lights or something after that. And everybody's kind of been there. I think as, you grow older, you gain a little bit of wisdom, you gain a little bit more sense of appreciation. I think.
Quality
And
versus
exactly.
quality
It's not
versus
doing
quantity.
quality versus quantity. So, and I think, a lot of us have moved way past those hangover days.
Oh
So,
yeah, well, not really move fast, but I mean, it's like the appreciation for like the depth of the taste of the beer. For me, it's like I do like the stronger beers, but to be able to smell it and taste it, and taste it as it's going down your throat, it's like it's fantastic.
the intricacies of it, I think.
What's that?
The intricacies.
Yeah, exactly.
slow down a little bit. Enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah.
Savor the flavor, right?
Oh, for sure.
And appreciating the time and effort and thought that you put into making a particular style,
Yeah.
a flavor profile. Say, there's an infinite number of combinations of things you could do, and to pair things with each other that are going to go wet. Like using coconut or like a mango or certain fruits or certain hops, and knowing what's going to play well with others, and what's not going to play well. And I appreciate that, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And that's one of the things that will draw me to a particular brewery is like your penny peanut butter milk stout on nitro. Like everybody knows, Six Pack has penny. Everybody knows that this brewery has got this brewery's got that, and Vigilant's got their peanut butter and jelly. That's our Vigilant go-to, and yours is penny, and I think, and Timmy too. But it's like,
Well, to me,
those are that's what you're known for, and that's what everybody like is coming here to really try. But then there's all the other things too. So
Bonus beers.
yeah, right.
So,
like your sours are delicious.
Yeah.
I'm a huge sour fan myself. I'm a big fan of the style, and it does have a lower usually ABV. So
but a lot of flavor though.
A lot of
yeah,
flavor.
a lot of
and
flavor,
Extremely refreshing.
right?
A sour.
Especially in these dog days of summer.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
Right.
So before I forget, I'm not trying to cut you off, but
That's all right.
before I forget to ask. So going back to everybody knows you guys have Penn. Everybody knows you have Tim. Everybody's got their one signature that some people always go there for. Is there ever been, or is there now? Maybe you don't have to tell us, but a beer that everybody expected you to do or expects you to do that you absolutely hate making? Like you've done it so many times now. You're like, I swear to God, I want to move on.
If I have to make one more batch of this,
right. Is there been one?
No, not really. There was a beer that everybody wanted me to make, and I was kind of refused because I'm kind of against them. It was a pumpkin beer.
Way to come back around with that.
We caved last year. We actually did a collab with one of the pizza places. They brought their pizza oven down, and we roasted a bunch of pumpkins and butternut squash in it, and made a porter out of that, and kept the spices pretty subtle. So we may do that again this year.
So why do you hate the pumpkin?
Just people go too heavy with the spice.
yeah.
I don't know. I used to like them years ago. It just seemed like, how much can we get away with?
Yeah. So
That goes back. I think that goes back to the balance.
yes,
balance in
It's got to be balanced
Yeah.
for something like that. It's got to
You
be
know,
balanced.
as a cook, I have to have balance in my food, or it's too salty, it's too spicy, it's too whatever. You know what I mean? That's going to throw somebody's palate off. They're not going to enjoy what they're eating. So same thing with what you're drinking. If you don't have
Exactly.
balance,
Right. I with pumpkin, I do like pumpkin beers. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like everything else that it's being rushed. I was in a liquor store last night
Oh,
and I saw a pumpkin head, and
No.
it's July.
No.
When I think of pumpkin beers, I think October, maybe September,
See,
but not July. You're rushing my summer away.
It's a little too early.
Right.
that angers me, because I think, okay, two things with the pumpkins. One, everybody hopped on the damn train when they started getting popular a few years back, and everybody all of a sudden and their grandmother just like, we got to do a pumpkin beer.
Mhm.
Okay. Everybody came out with pumpkins, pumpkin.
laws of
And-
supply and demand.
Exactly.
That's what
And
everybody
I get
wants.
it. Meet what the market wants. You guys are in the bake business. You make your money. You sell what you want. But for the love of God, do we need it in July? Can we wait till September,
Right.
October, when
Takes
it's actually
away
the
from-
season for it?
It makes it less special unless it's
Exactly. Why?
the whole year.
And it's
Yeah.
getting earlier and earlier every year.
And that leads
Seems that
you
way,
to
yeah.
question the
I mean-
quality of your product. How are you getting pumpkins?
Where are you getting them from?
Where are you getting pumpkins in July? You obviously have to have pumpkins to make pumpkin beer, and if you're selling it in July, you had to make it months ago, right?
Mhm.
So
That's the other thing.
who's got pumpkins in May? Where is this coming from?
It's a slow boat from China.
There's a reason why you have seasonal
Yeah.
berries.
Exactly.
It's because you're using local
Let's keep them
ingredients,
seasonal.
and whether it's the weather, whatever it is you're doing, it's seasonal. There's a reason for the season. So it's pumpkin beers. In the wintertime, you're talking about like stouts and quarters, and those darker beers, maple. You get a lot of those type of beers or whatever. In summertime, I'm expecting strawberries. I want berries. I want blueberries. Cherries. Those are the types of things that I'm expecting.
Of course.
Like when I walk into a place, like you've got a triple berry and a dark cherry sour. That's what I'm expecting. If I walked in and you got a pumpkin beer, I'd be like,
Yeah. What the hell? What the hell is this?
What's going on?
Yeah.
is this? I would automatically assume that this is like some stuff that you had left over sitting in the back, and you found the keg.
And and that's the other thing too. Check the dates on your bottles, folks, because some of those pumpkin beers that we may be getting in July may be last year's beers.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
God.
possibility.
Okay, these places may be putting them out. They had them sitting in the back because it was the end of the season and they didn't sell. So now all of a sudden they're coming back around. Check the dates on your beers, folks. Okay, because I've had it happen to me before. Where all of a sudden I'm getting a beer and it was from one of the big boys and it was like a year old.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So I'm sorry.
Shipyard. They're pretty.
It wasn't that. I do enjoy shipyards.
I do, yeah.
They're like my guilty pleasure.
Oh, sure.
Um,
The pumpkin.
Yeah. It wasn't them, but we're not gonna say any names, Sam Adams. But
Damn you!
yeah, it was like from a year ago. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this?
Yeah, I've seen Oktoberfest in like April and May. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy that.
What that? And it's like, if you guys are calling your beers back, make sure you're getting them back because, the stores, they're in to make money too. So they may not want to eat the product. They may not be able to give it back. They may not want to lose the money on it. I get it. But I don't want to be drinking last year's beer.
Right.
Okay? So now, with that being said,
Yeah.
are you doing a pumpkin this year?
We may. It's still too early.
We're gonna put you on the spot here, so
Maybe.
maybe. Okay.
With pumpkin and the popularity of fruited beer nowadays, I think back to like 10 years ago when like somebody suggested I have a cherry wheat by Sam Adams. I don't want cherry in my beer. I want beer. How do you explain the growing popularity in the fruited beer realm?
How do you
Beer is
feel
such a
about
thing now where it wasn't at all. Someone would question your manhood 10 years ago. If you drink
Well,
fruity beer.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well,
I think people are wannabe beer drinkers,
Mhm.
a lot of them, and don't really like the taste of beer that tastes like beer.
Like a gateway beer almost, right?
So they want something that's fruity and maybe a little easier drinking. Seems like it's more and more of that lately.
So, and that's, we talked about, in the past where, I do like a sour, you like a sour, and it tends to be, we think of it as like a gateway beer. The beer you might start with that's a little sour, a little tart, a little get you drink it, and hopefully, please get you drinking the more complex styles, the more traditional styles, and appreciating them. But in the same breath, like I said, not every beer is for everybody. It gets them in the door, it gets them drinking, and hopefully, like I said, you can start as custodians of the craft. Introducing them to different things and trying different things. I know people that absolutely refuse a sour. They're like, no, it's not for me. It's like, okay, great.
Right. That's not. They say it's not beer. It's not beer. What are the boundaries for it?
Well, it is. It's still beer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fruited beer. I guess some people just don't like that.
I would say one of the oldest styles of beer, Alambic, is a fruited beer.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Or even the German Berliner Weiss, which is basically what our sours are. So with fruit added.
And they're fantastic, by the way.
Yes.
Let me tell you, there hasn't been a bad beer in this flight.
Yeah, this last one was very.
I mean, anything with sugar in it can be fermented. Fruits are one of the oldest things to ferment. I'm a home brewer and I need, and fruits are one of the go-tos because it adds so much flavor and complexity to whatever it is you're making. And it can take away some of the bite of some of those other styles of beer that, it adds a little something to it. And I think that makes it light and refreshing. And I think it, even, sometimes geared more towards women, like you said, question your manhood of drinking
a cherry beer, right?
But cherry wheat,
it's delicious.
Well, our grandfathers would have all put us on the cross.
Right.
Yeah. What kind of?
Why aren't you drinking Miller Lights, dude? Or why are you drinking Bud Heavies?
No,
why?
Because they're terrible.
Here, can't have a cancer, But one of the first beers I had that was like a craft beer would have been Sam Adams cherry wheat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
90s.
For sure. Sam Adams was
cherry wheat, and then you had like Wachusett blueberry, and you had some of those.
Love Wachusett blueberry.
Yeah, some of those other breweries that were coming out with things that weren't pilsners, ales, lagers. Not these macro brews or whatever. You had the 90s where you started to have all of these places popping up.
Right.
And see around here, Sam Adams, you had like Sierra Nevada, like you had all these different.
Sam Adams was definitely my guardian in walking me into like better beers and fruitier beers and IPAs for that matter. It kind of Blueberry Hill they had, which was amazing, or like the Latitude 148, which was an amazing IPA. Just like took me from Bud Light to Six Pack Brewing. It was the bridge, the crossover.
Nice.
So you guys know what time it is? It is time for, I remember my first beer.
Well,
so speaking back on everybody's kind of first, and I haven't gotten to mine because my first beer I hated. It was Sam Adams. Believe it or not, it was their Boston Lager. I hated it.
Yeah,
I tried to like it, and I hated it.
That's still.
But anyway, I love it now though. So that one beer either you remember fondly or just this is my first experience. What was it?
My first experience with beer, and I won't tell you how old I was at the time. Raided my dad's beer fridge, and he was not known for having anything good, and there wasn't really a whole lot back then.
There wasn't many choices.
So my first taste in beer was Schlitz.
Oh,
Schlitz.
Yes.
I probably haven't had one since then, and I probably never will.
Schlitz.
So my gateway actually to craft beer was Sam Adams Boston Lager also. And then discovered Harpoon.
Yes.
Which opened up a whole new world.
Yes.
And it's crazy what's out there today.
It's just it's exploded. It really has. I mean, I told my buddy who lives in the Chicago area. I'm like, listen, we have 42. I think 42. I think was the last count I saw. Breweries in the state of Rhode Island, and I'm like, it's insane.
Mhm.
Right. But it shows that we've grown to appreciate and we want the local and the quality. You know, I mean,
the quality over the quantity.
exactly. But I mean, you know, it's like you said years ago. It was you had your Budweiser, you had your Coors, you had your Miller, you had and that was it. You know, that's what you guys had. If you were fortunate enough to have something, you know, nearby, you know, I mean, we had Narragansett back in the day before it closed down.
The
you know,
Gansett
years
reopened,
and years, and then it
rebranded almost.
reopened, and they're trying new things, and that's great. You know, but if you didn't have something like that, you were stuck with
Beer full of
whatever
beer.
was there. You know, exactly.
Thank you, Jimmy Carter.
Right.
If it wasn't for him repealing the laws, which allowed people to experiment and do Henley brewing,
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't even be sitting here. None of us would be talking about any of this.
Wow.
You know,
Exactly.
That's a good point.
I didn't know that. Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the one who had.
I'm almost certain that
Mhm.
it was him who repealed the laws, so that way you could start brewing at home.
That's amazing.
You're limited to I forget how many gallons a year.
Yeah.
I think it varies by state.
Yeah, I think it does now. So yeah, you can brew up to X amount of gallons per year as a home brewer.
It's amazing.
So getting to the laws, I know Rhode Island we've got you guys fighting for, you know, more freedom to sell your products.
I know there's a bill. I don't
There
know
is a
the-
bill,
The
and
number
forgive me.
name of the bill, but there's a bill out
We'll
there. to
put it in the
restrict-
comments after. You know, so it's out there. Everybody's trying to get it passed. You know, we want you guys to be able to get product out to more people. So, what do you have to say about it? I mean, what do you think? Is it a good thing for you guys? Is it a bad thing?
It will be a good thing when it happens.
When it happens?
When it happens, yeah.
You think?
Yeah,
it's
Rhode
gonna go
Island's
through?
Rhode Island's a tough state for any self distribution.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We use a distributor right now, but would love to do self distribution. You know, like other states around us.
Yeah.
Even if it is a certain radius around the brewery, it would be a big plus.
I mean, that's just it, because it's like I have a kegerator at home. I would love to walk in and say, hey, you know, let me get a torpedo of Penny or Simi or whatever,
Right.
you know, and you guys be able to go, sure, here you go.
All right.
You know, exactly. I mean, is that asking too much? I don't think it is. I mean,
No.
you know, the limits on what you guys can sell to an individual it's ridiculous. It really is.
Especially when our neighboring states are pretty much unlimited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, can we get with the times, Rhode Island, Liz?
Yeah, I go to Treehouse and I'm blown away every time I go to Treehouse because I'm walking in and I see people walking out. They get dollies. They got like 8, 9
That's crazy.
cases of beer, like thousands of dollars worth of beer, and they come from New York, Ohio, Michigan. They come from all over the country.
Yeah.
And they're buying this beer. I see people I saw a guy that bought a can. This is years ago, but he bought a can of Juice Machine for $88, one can. Wow. He lived out in like Colorado because they couldn't get it because they couldn't go to the brewery. But like this like these guys are started off like you did, like any of us did, homebrewing in their garage. These guys are billionaires. It's incredible how much beer they sell, and the business in Rhode Island is like really restricted that. So I hope you guys.
Yeah, we're all pushing for it.
Yeah.
You know, we're spreading the word, and like I said, we'll put the exact details in the description later for everybody. You know, to get out there. You know, when it hits the voting booths.
Yeah.
You know, because one, it's going to help the economy in the state. It's going to help you guys out. It's going to help everybody. You know, so it's like, who's it really hurting?
Right?
The dollars don't make sense.
No.
I can go to a liquor store and I can pick up a keg of Coors, Bud, any large brewer. I can go there and pick up a whole entire keg, but I can't go to the guy down the street and buy a Wilton keg.
But
How is that making sense?
because I think you hit the nail
It
on the
doesn't
head.
make any sense.
I
It's
think
all about
it's-
the dollars.
Exactly. It's
And
the,
it's Rhode Island. Who's paying who? Right?
the distributors want their cut. The liquor stores want their cut.
Right.
So if you're not selling to the distributor who's upselling to the liquor store's not upselling to you, they're all losing out on their money, and that's where the problem's coming in. But why should I have to go through 3 other people?
Right.
to get my beer.
Why can't I come here and say, Mark,
And go right to the source.
I want this, and you say, okay, and
Without
you sell it.
having to be
Here's my
wholesale.
money. Here's your beer.
In the store.
That's
The way it should be.
That's the way it should be.
And it's the
You should just be
exact
able to-
same product.
Yeah.
It's just I'm going through 2 other people.
Right.
Why? You know,
And that's the thing.
And that's what's
again,
hurting
it goes
everybody.
back to the distributor has to make $1. The
Yes.
liquor store has to make $1
Yes.
on it.
you know,
Why can't we just buy what we want, where we want? There's so many other things that are legal in the state of Rhode Island now.
Yeah.
If you look at all the dispensaries,
Yeah.
I can go in to a dispensary. You know, we're going off topic and we're venturing into something else, but I can go to a dispensary and buy whatever I want there, but I can't come here and buy a beer.
So, you know, it goes. The liquor stores.
Money. It's all about-
Listen. They're not. It's not. Mark, not having your stuff at the liquor store is not hurting the liquor store
Yeah.
because they've
Yeah.
got everything else.
Right.
They're making their money. They're not making them. I don't care what they say. They're not making their money on the beer. They're making their money on the hard liquor and the wine.
Yep.
Okay. Look at the craft beer section in a lot of these liquor stores. It's minute to non-existent. There are a few exceptions out there.
There are
Yeah.
a few exceptions.
There are a few exceptions
I've
that
had those.
that have a good selection and that are carrying the stuff that you guys are distributing.
And I think that
They're few and far between.
and I think they're being forced to, because people like us
yeah,
are saying,
we
I'm
want
not
it.
buying this 30 rack of whatever, natty ice or whatever. I'm going to get a 4-pack or a 6-pack of something good. So the craft beer market has exploded exponentially. And if you go into any liquor store, any quality, like even mom and pop stops
Mhm.
are now having to stock craft beers because that's what we're asking for.
For
Well,
sure.
and they're the same reason why we can't get it in the supermarkets.
Yeah, right.
That's
every other
another
state.
point too.
Every other state you go
Yeah.
to in the supermarket. Buy.
So let me tell you. So when
My beer
I
anyway.
first left, the state, it was back in 2001. I left. We get to, I want to say it was Nebraska. We get to Nebraska, and we go to the local supermarket chain there, and all of a sudden I'm walking around and I'm like, "What is this?
Did it?
This is Nirvana. I don't have to
Right.
go anywhere. What is
Right.
going on? Walmart for
A whole aisle.
You could
Whole
go to
aisle. Right?
Walmart.
Whole aisle.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
and get liquor. You could go to the supermarket. I'm like, this is insanity. This is blowing my little mind. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what's going on? And then you find out, oh, we moved to the next place. It's here too. You go to the next place. It's like, for the love of God, it's only Rhode Island, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it goes back to those things. It's like,
Yeah.
look for how long we couldn't even get a beer on Sunday.
Oh, right. Right.
Everybody, you stock up on Saturday because
Sure.
Sundays they're closed.
No
You can't
drinking
go-
on
No
Sundays.
drinking on Sundays.
I can go to BJ's in South Attleboro, and they've got a massive section of booze and beers and all that. But then I cross the border and I go back into Rhode Island, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know it.
5
You go
minutes.
to Johnson, and you cross the border and it's not there. Why?
So instead,
Tell
our
me how
dollars
that
are going
makes sense.
across over to Massachusetts.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. So it goes back to that again. It's like it's only going to help the local economy, guys. The old timers, listen, move on, get past it, give it the times, help these guys out. Okay, it's ridiculous. So we should be able to go right to the source and just get what we want.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully everything
Agreed.
works out.
Definitely.
you know.
Hopefully.
Preach on
And,
that.
yeah, exactly. Hopefully, come around November, we start seeing some changes for you guys. And like you said, even if it starts off within a certain radius, fine. We got enough places around. We can figure it out.
For sure.
We'll figure something out.
Definitely.
But something's better than nothing. So, with that being said, Mark, we want to thank you for your time. Thank you for letting us try these awesome beers, and I think it's time for some tallying to award the top cock.
Yeah. Let's get to that.
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've got this.
Mhm.
I don't think I've got this. All right,
Okay.
so number one,
Number one, Mark.
Max.
Number one was Max.
Max.
Ow, son of a bitch.
So I had Max.
I have Max.
Ah,
I do like a half.
Hold on.
So-
There's 4.
All right.
A good half of
So he's already out.
No.
No. I'm not out. You're out.
How are you not out?
I got one wrong.
If you get the next 3 wrong, he gets the next 3 right.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got a point there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2,
I'm going to go with Timmy.
I'm going with Timmy as well.
I'm saying band.
You're all wrong.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Sheldon?
Sheldon.
Ah,
I'm
I
number
was-
3 because I had Sheldon on 3.
Oh.
A biscuit eater.
So number 2 is our Citra beer.
Oh god, no. Oh.
Crash and burn.
Oh. Oh, we all failed.
Oh my God.
Is number 3 Timmy?
Number 3
Number-
is Timmy.
Oh, my God, I
I got
Sheldon.
them. I got
So-
them.
Me too. Me too.
I had.
Son of
Me
I went
too.
and changed my answer because at
I
first,
figured
I
those
had
two
Timmy out of
would
order.
would throw you guys off.
It sure did. So I got Timmy. So I've got 2. Who's got 2 right now?
I have 1.
You've got 1.
I have none.
Wait a minute. You only got 1 right?
I reversed Timmy. I went back and forth for about 20 minutes.
So wait a minute. So hold on. So I've got 2 out of the 4.
So can we
You've only
finish
got
some?
one out of the 4?
Before we celebrate, you would just finish this.
You
Oh,
guys-
wait, oh,
I think all you guys hopefully got the last one.
It's sorbet
Yeah,
sour.
here we go.
Sorbet sour.
Sorbet sour.
Sorbet sour.
So
So,
my good sir.
Do we have a tie?
No.
as I hang my head and
No,
You got 3 right?
I got 3 right.
Oh, nice.
say, may I present to you, good sir, your golden cock.
Top cock.
Your top cock.
Yeah.
I demand a recount.
We demand a recount. We demand a recount.
Hashtag not my vote.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Listen. I stopped the dynasty.
You did.
I just had it. For
You're the
2
New York
now.
Giants. You're the New York
Stop.
Giants.
We didn't
Table.
have this for episode 1. We had it for episodes 2 and 3, and now 4. It's coming home.
I would have definitely won on
With me.
number 1. So,
So-
I think that qualifies.
We'll go with that. And again, Mark, thank you again so much for having us. It's been a great.
It's been a
morning.
pleasure.
It's been
This was awesome.
It's been fantastic. Like I said,
You have great beers, even though we couldn't tell one from the other. You still have great beers.
Hey, listen. All right, we got a little tripped up. That's okay. It's a blind tasting. It's different. So, but so me being my first time in here, I got to say this is a great place, great atmosphere. There's some outdoor seating you guys can come and enjoy in the warm weather when it's not raining outside like today. Bring your pups. They can come in. They've got dog treats for them. You can sample and buy and then take home for the pups and
And let's throw in that the dog treats are actually made
yes.
from the remnants of
Yep.
your brewing process. It's made
Wow.
from the remnants.
We're not going to
hops.
waste.
Look at that.
Spent green dog treats made from our beer penny.
Have you ever heard of that before anywhere?
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Like the Native American in the Buffalo, just using the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole part.
That's the whole thing. All right. Well, for myself, Ed Patnod,
Oh, for me, Buddy Thayer, for Costa St. Early, for Mark Pappy, this is
Six
Ben
Pack.
3 Dudes Brews. Thanks, everybody.
thanks for watching.
Peace out.
Cheers.
Drink local.
Looks good. Thank you.